So today we're going to do some prep work for paint. I'm not sure when we're going to have a time frame to actually paint this vehicle, but we're going to start prepping it to get ready for paint. With that said, that's going to basically just entail taking all the plastic emblems off of it, all the plastic trim, and remove all the leftover adhesive. So stay tuned here and we'll show you how to do that. Alright, so what we're going to do today is pull this old trim off. And what you want to do is put some solvent on it, something that's not going to ruin the paint, but dissolve the adhesive on it. And then take some fishing line right here, and we're just going to kind of work it back and forth until the thing pops off. So this might take a minute here, but we'll give it a shot. Fishing line's a good thing to use just because it's strong and it won't gouge the paint or anything like that. But really anything that you can use anything that you can use that is a flossing type of technique usually works pretty well. So that right there should be it. Boom, got it. And then what we'll end up doing is we'll get some more solvent in here and just start scraping at this stuff here to get all the adhesive backing off it. So it's as simple as that. You can do that with everything. So now that we've gotten the trim removed, spray it down with some adhesive remover, and I'm just going to take a steel razor blade and just come down the side of it. Just make sure you have it as flat as possible against the body to avoid major scratching and gouging in the paint. As simple as that. And we'll go back through, spray it down, and keep scraping at what's a little left of it, and we should be good. So in doing all of our prep work for paint, we're going to scrape down the whole body with a razor blade. Mainly this left side. Let me show you here. At some point in time, someone had spray painted something near it, or just ended up painting somewhere near it, and there's a bunch of overspray down the whole side of it here. I already did the door, so this is kind of what it's going to look like when it's done, which is pretty clean for what it is, but it's all over the windows and everything. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and scrape all this crap off. As for the pinstriping, we're going to get something different on that. The adhesive remover and razor blade trick ain't really working, so I may have to get like some sort of buffer, but they make a pinstripe remover tool, which maybe we'll go that route, but yeah, so that's going to be the deal here. So once we do all that, we'll go on to the next step. Alright, scrape the whole side of it off. We got the most of the overspray off of it. I mean, it's not perfect, but it looks far better than what it did. So all it takes is a little bit of elbow grease. That's all it takes. So the lighting is not great in here, but what I wound up doing was I scraped down all the glass too with a razor blade. That's something I always do, because I think I've mentioned it before in another video, is just clean glass goes a long way. Just crystal glass goes a very long way. It's the same story. You just spray it down with some Invisiglass or whatever window cleaner you have, and just take a razor blade to it. You ain't gonna scratch it, just take a razor blade to it and just scrape all that old gunk off there, because glass cleaner itself is not gonna touch it. Glass cleaner rag, it ain't gonna do it. You just gotta scrape it, scrape it, scrape it, scrape it. It helps a bunch. I'll get some good pictures of it, maybe a couple videos. I don't know if it's gonna do it justice, but it looks really nice now, really, really nice. Now what we'll do is we'll end up buffing the thing. Well, whatever's left of the paint, really. I want to see what's underneath all this stuff, because maybe it'll buff out halfway decent. Let's see. So again, the lighting isn't great in this garage, which is unfortunate, but we buffed the door so far. Haven't done the quarter panel yet, but I think you can see what we're getting at here. It's actually buffing out pretty well. See how dull the quarter panel still is. All right, we officially bought the cheap Cherokee a week ago, and we're gonna make our first road trip with it. We're going to Nashville, Tennessee, so we'll make some videos and stuff along the way. Maybe, hopefully we don't have any issues, so this will be a true test. And the nice part is I may even have a lead on selling some parts while we're there. So maybe we'll make some of our money back in the fuel and all the extra stuff that we spent money on. So that'd be cool. Can't wait. All right, coming through Asheville right now. So far, so good. We've gone 100 miles. No unexpected issues so far. Our fingers crossed. Got a little bit of a brake pulsation. Coming through Shelby right there. And all those stoplights, but it feels like a rear pulsation, which is kind of strange. Like the drums may be a little bit warped or something like that, which who knows. But yeah, so far so good. Smooth as can be going down the road. You know, no hands. So anyway, we'll check back in later, see where we're at. Coming through Knoxville now, we're working hour 4 of this little trip to Nashville. So far, so good. Got a line of traffic rolling about 85 here, so that's going well. Smooth as can be. We're at mile marker 254 on the trip odometer, and that puts us at, I don't know, about 7/16 of a tank of fuel. A little bit more than 3/8. So I mean, those things getting good fuel mileage. Should have I don't know, 2 hours or so left. So let's try to power through that and see what kind of fuel mileage we get. So I had mentioned earlier about a little bit of a brake pulsation. I'm sitting kind of here in traffic right now, kind of like going 40 or so. I have to slow down, all that crap. I mean, for what it is, it definitely feels like the rear. But I figured I'd just disclose this type of information is because if someone along the way had changed the drums and shoes and put like all new hardware and all that crap in the rear brake system, there's a better chance than not that they never resurfaced the drum when they got it, or at least checked the surface of the brand new drum. Because more often than not, because drum brakes are so cheap and uncommon these days, the rear drums are usually so out of round, and if you just throw them on there, they kind of do this. They get that really bad pulsation. I'm not saying it's terrible, it's just annoying. So for what it is anyway, you can take KJ Jeep Liberty disc brakes and swap them on these 8 1/4s, because Jeep Liberty has an 8 1/4 and they had an option for disc brakes, so it's a direct bolt-on swap. I'm going to wind up doing that because I do it to all these things. But for what it is, that's a prime suspect when trying to deal with a random brake pulsation, especially after changing your brakes out. It's just a factory out-around drum or rotor. That'll happen because this thing right here, it has brand new pads and rotors on the front of it, so I find it hard to believe that the front rotors are warped for no reason, really. I can definitely see the theory of the rear being the cause. So we'll investigate that at some point. And like I said, I'm just going to swap them out for disc brakes anyway. So maybe we'll just do that and see if the vibration goes away, and then we'll just turn the front rotors. But anyway, I just figured that was some interesting information that someone might know. So we just stopped for fuel. We had still a quarter of a tank left or so, But 328 miles, 15.2 gallons. That rounds it out. I'm sorry, 15.5 gallons. So that rounds it out to be about 21.1 miles per gallon, which is not too hateful on a vehicle that is, what, 21 years old with a 4-liter straight six. So I'm not too upset about that. It's not too shabby. So we are roughly an hour and 15 minutes from Nashville. Again, no issues. So this will be our first and only stop, and we'll see how she does.
Forward to the red that met with envy.
All right, so that's it. We're done. What I wound up doing was I drove it up to Nashville. I drove it back to Charlotte, and I drove around for a week or two. I just didn't like it. It was not my thing. I do not like the two-door. I really like the idea of a two-door until you actually have to go to use it to do work. Those rear doors are super crappy to have a passenger back there, but to actually work out of them and like open up a door to actually get to your crap in the back seat and the rear trunk area, like super convenient. So I sold the two-door XJ. So with that being said, I drove it to Nashville. We went back to Charlotte, and then I took it to Western New York for Christmas to see my family, and then drove it to Indianapolis and dropped it off to its new owner. No issues with it. The thing, it's great. It's a great vehicle, rust-free and all that stuff. The owner is super happy with his purchase. So all in all, it was a great little project. And again, too, it was a 1-week resurrection. It was destined to be in the junkyard. Now we got a new owner. It's got a new life, and we can move forward with it. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And hopefully you learned something. If you didn't, keep watching some more videos. We're going to do some more work. I don't know yet. So thanks again. I appreciate it.